Welcome to Moses Squared Podcast Live Edition. We're taking it live. We've
We
you,
live, baby.
yeah, you've seen
Yeah.
us before. I'm Lauren Moses. Here, my brother Desmond Moses, and we're just gonna switch some things up. You guys know that we've been doing podcasts for probably on and off for like 2 years now.
Yeah.
And we're excited to be back. We're excited to talk about sports, excited to talk about things that we love to do, and just the culture of sports. And, of course, rep our black folk in sports and celebrate them, give them their flowers while they're here. So before we get started, Des, mental check-in. How are we feeling today? It's a new year. What's the mindset for this week, this year?
It's I'm feeling blessed. I
Yeah.
uh I just started doing some writing. I decided to start doing some writing, just to help me. I have all these great thoughts, and it's, 2022. I still got to get used to saying this. 2022 is the year that, we're going to make a lot of this stuff come to fruition, but just writing it down. You got to put things on paper's goal. One
Yep.
of my favorite books that I always talk about, I've obviously referred out to anybody who talks to me. Um, Success is Not an Accident by Dr. Newberry. This book is just, it encompasses so much for young adults, young professionals, young athletes, the mentality that it takes to be special. And, we all have our own gifts. God
Mm-hmm.
gifts each and every one of us with different skills that are unique. It's up to us to not only identify them, but to maximize them. So going into this new year, we writing stuff down. We put it on paper and it's coming to fruition. You got to have a plan. First, excuse me, you got to start with a goal,
Yeah.
then a plan and some sub goals, things you can hit that are realistic with inside you, whether it's physical, whether it's career related, whether it's family related. You know,
Yeah.
Write it down, make a plan, pray on it, and then get to it.
Yeah, and if you listen to our
What about you?
podcast before, we talk about goals a lot. That's we're a very goal driven family.
Yeah,
But yeah, no, for me, I'm doing well. Like mentally, I'm doing really good. I think I'm super motivated to just have a positive mindset.
for
No matter
sure.
what's going on. So that's kind of where I am mentally. We will get into more of like New Year stuff, goals, resolutions, whatever your agenda is for the new year. We'll get into that towards the end. Um, but yeah, make sure you guys follow us on Instagram, Moses Squared Podcast, all the way spelled out. And let's just get into it. First we have NFL stuff. What's going on in the NFL right now? We know that the playoffs are coming up. And of course, we have to talk about Mr. Antonio Brown because on Sunday, we might have lost him. Are you there, Des?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay, there you go. Okay,
Yeah,
so yeah, Mr. Antonio Brown, we saw on Sunday. He had, sort of some type of mishap. Something happened on the sideline, and he decided to remove his uniform, throw some of them into the stands, and remove himself from the game, the stadium.
yeah.
He pieced out.
I
How do
love
you
that
have?
brother.
What's going on? What's going on?
I love him. Let me start with that. I love that brother. He's a very talented guy.
Can't take that from
Um,
him.
I think that mental health is in itself. A lot of people have joked about this. They've made this out to be, somewhat cynical or, something to laugh at. This is to me, just knowing what these guys go through, not only physically but mentally. This is something for me. I hope that this guy has a strong team around him, a group that really cares about him, not only physically, mentally, financially, because things are about to change. And, you exit from the NFL for 90% of players, unless you got to live that Hall of Fame career, it gets a little lonelier. You
Yeah.
have to really lean on your family and your friends and your loved ones, not just your agents and your marketing agents and your teams, because those things, that's a part of the game,
Yeah.
even your teammates in a lot of regards. But um, he seems to just be struggling with something internally, and I'm no doctor, so that's all I can really say about it internally.
Yeah.
He makes some decisions. I think that in the future down the road, he'll look back and say, I wish I would have played that a little differently.
Yeah.
Um, but it's tough to see. It's tough to see because that's that's the ugly ending, you know.
Mm-hmm.
What about
Exactly.
you?
And
What do you think?
sometimes, I mean, we're always going to remember, like you said, we're always going to remember AB for his talent, his
Will
skill,
we?
his
That's the thing, though. Will
dedication.
we?
But I think you can't. I say all that to say, but sometimes when you go out a bad way, that is all that
Hmm.
people remember.
For sure.
But I do think that we're always going to remember him for that, because at the end of the day, we know mental health is real. We know, you can't judge the person sitting next to you because you don't know what they're going through.
Right.
So we can say all this, that this is what he's known for, this is what he's been doing for years, and with the Steelers and all that. Like, yeah, it's been going on for a long time. At the end of the day, he's been playing his game for a long time too. And I heard somebody say it today, when he's on the field, when he's working out with his team, when he's training by himself, you can't take away how hard this man works on his
No.
craft.
No. Not at all.
I think a lot of us wish, especially fans, wish that he put that same energy into making sure that he is okay mentally. But that's something that we can only hope for. My biggest concern, I think, after all of this is, one, him getting the right help that he needs. Like Tom Brady said after the game on Sunday, it's not about the help that everybody else wants him to have. It's the help that he specifically needs to get better. And also, I just hope that, man, his social life, because I feel like a lot of times where he was getting in trouble was his social life, his relationships. I hope that doesn't take a turn downhill again, or even on a more drastic level after this. So
It's tough.
prayers with him.
It
Yeah.
is. It is. And there's even been a recent ordeal between he and the delivery man over $800, and it's like, these are the type of instances. These are the type of events for him. Without that layer of protection that the NFL provides, um, these could blow up. And I hope for him that he can just get himself together as a man, as a father, as a black brother. I hope that he can really turn this and take it and make it a positive, because there are a lot of young men and women that look up to him, and he still has that platform to make a difference. So
Yeah.
shout out to that brother. I hope we're gonna be praying for him for sure, but that wasn't his best day.
No, certainly not. Moving on to the rest of the league. Right now, we have
Yeah.
the Steelers Monday Night Football playing against Cleveland Browns. Cleveland Browns, excuse me. Our man Ben Roethlisberger heading out.
Wash one and wash two.
He's saying sayonara. I don't know.
So-
Yeah, the game did start already.
Yeah, shout out to Ben though. But I got to play against Ben Roethlisberger a few different times. He was one of, in his prime, the elite quarterbacks for sure. Obviously, his resume speaks for itself. That was a joke calling
Yeah,
him Wash.
yeah.
He's had a heck of a career, a Hall of
Rightfully
Fame
so.
career.
He's washed.
Yeah.
Rightfully so.
Yeah. He deserves to be. He gonna go hang it up after this. He washed now. He finna hang it up. But he did it in the right order, and Super Bowl winning quarterback. One of those top passers, pocket passers, in his prime, and shoot, heck of a career.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kudos to
Now
him.
the other guy I was referring to was our guy on the other side, Browns quarterback,
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield. I mean,
Okay, so are we sighing because we had higher hopes, or are we sighing because he
I'm
was
sighing because
overhyped?
he's overly hyped. He's
Okay.
had his job for way too long.
Okay, that's why I'm sighing,
Yeah,
because I think
mean,
people
come
put a
on.
lot of faith in him.
Come on. He's going through 3 coaches. It's been the coach's fault every time. He's been a starting quarterback every time.
It's been
I mean,
everybody
I-
else's fault every time.
Come
That
on.
yeah.
Come on. I can't buy it. He got all
Yeah.
the commercials you can imagine. Like, he's Patrick.
Yeah.
I don't dislike this brother at all, but come on. Like,
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson, I ain't never seen a commercial of him. Brother's an MVP. Winning percentage is unreal. I could go on,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna just,
I that's actually good. That's actually interesting that you brought that up because I never thought about it. But when you say it,
Mm.
I'm like, actually, I don't think. And I lived in Baltimore,
Mm.
and I don't think I've ever even seen his face on like anything outside of the organization. And that's not to say like he may not. That might be his choice. Who knows? But still, it's just like if you're not putting the numbers up, if you're not putting the wins up.
Yeah.
What are we
What are we doing?
yeah. So, okay. I didn't want to get into quarterbacks, but you spoke about it, and we got to talk about Russell Wilson out of the playoff.
Yeah.
He's not even an option. Yep. Not even an option. And his future. A lot of people are saying that he's out of Seattle, which I think would be the best option for him in his career right now. Retirement, is that in the question? Where do you see his future going, whether it's in Seattle or not?
I mean, I hope not. You know, as far as retirement, I think he still has some game left in him. You know, especially with the rules of today's game, it allows for quarterbacks specifically to be able to play longer. You know, we see guys like Tom Brady, who's not even a mobile quarterback, play 22 plus. I mean, this dude's unreal. He might got 5-6 years left in him the way he's rolling. So just the rules in general for quarterbacks, I think Russ could definitely go out and perform and lead another team. I think he needs weapons, though. I mean, it's clear. Nobody can get it done from the Aaron Rodgers. Tom Brady always seems to have weapons, but, you know, you can look all the way down the line. For quarterback play, you have to have quality receivers that you can depend on to catch the ball, make those plays. And in the past, when he's had them, it's gone without question that Russell's one of the best. Right now, he's just in a tall task there in Seattle. But I would like to see him go somewhere else. You know, I've seen names and teams and cities such as New Orleans come up, and I think that would be a heck of a place. You know, there's a couple other spots where they could really use some quarterback play. Even, you know, San Francisco comes to mind. I know they got some young talent and such there, but it's like the type of quarterback that they have. The guy, young kid Trey
Lance,
Trey Lance. He could have a ton of value from learning and getting the tutelage of a guy like Russell Wilson, and just similar style of play, similar style of athleticism. That could be great for both the organization and both those players.
Yeah, 49ers would be a really good spot for him, I think. Moving on to the teams that are actually in the hunt for a playoff spot, teams that have clinched their spot already. We got to talk about number ones right now.
Yeah.
Packers for the NFC, Bengals for the AFC. Bengals, they showed out against the Chiefs.
What'd you say?
Bengals, they showed out. So if you guys didn't know, if you are new to Moses Square Podcast, my brother Desmond Moses did play for both Green Bay Packers and Kansas City Chiefs. So of course he's he's picking favorites right now, because if we would have talked to him,
choosy.
Yeah, exactly. He also covers the Chiefs currently for KCTV in Kansas City, of course. So he's repping both squads usually throughout the season, but right now I'm assuming it's all Packer Nation.
Hold on, I ain't switching sides. No, don't play with me. Don't play with me. You see?
Yeah.
I gotta get my wall together. Don't worry, y'all. I'm still on both. You know, I got love for them both.
Yeah.
You know? But it's that Green Bay, they're playing insane right now. Insane. I mean, Aaron Rodgers compared that team to the one and where he went and won the Super Bowl, which was a year before I got there, unfortunately for I.
Of course.
But I mean, you know, just to watch that guy, I always tell stories about Aaron Rodgers and just how special he is.
Tell us the story, because I don't know if we might have some new followers, or somebody may catch this video later on after it's posted.
I mean, he was just one of those guys, and I've never been around a quarterback with that much confidence in their ability. There was times, you know, on multiple occasions where we'd be fourth quarter, 5 minutes left, down by 4, and he'd come over and wink. He'd just come wink at us. We're like, dude, we're down. That's not for us to be doing. We're not supposed to be winking. We're losing. But he just say something smooth like, "Hey, just get the ball back." Just get the ball back. And we're like, you heard the man. Just
exactly.
Just get the ball back. And I mean, it's like the Michael Jordan effect. That just instills a certain level of confidence in you as a defender to know that you got top guy at the quarterback position. And every single time it seemed like we went out there and got the ball back, he went down and made a play, just like he did last week. I mean, he just does it.
Yeah, and I feel like that scenario can go into so many different fields, like industries, I should say. Because when you just think about someone who is doing their job at the highest level possible, very well, like top tier level, telling you to basically go do your job, it's not like you want to let them down, because at the same time you're all on the same team. Whether you work in finances, whether you work in journalism,
100%.
It doesn't matter. Whether you work at Lowe's, like if someone who is doing their job really well, it just tells you to, hey, simply just go out there and do it.
I got my job.
Motivate exactly.
You do yours. I got my piece.
To do what you need to do at a top tier level. So that's really tough, and a lot of people may not have stories like that. So definitely, I mean, it's Aaron Rodgers.
It's Aaron freaking Rodgers. I mean, that guy's good, man. You kidding me?
He's an idol.
And he's so cool. I think that the piece I love about him the most, this brother is so cool. I mean, he cooler than cool. Like, he ice cold, baby. Hey, that's all I can say about the brother. I mean, his temperament, you never see him really get worked up. He's a competitor to the core, a lot like another guy that I praised that I got to play against, never with, and by the name of Thomas Brady. I mean, this guy is just, it's unreal. He's the type of guy, and Lauren, I know players, teammates, opponents that you played against in your career, that they just have it, and whatever they do, it's like whatever they touch, whatever he does, it's golden, because he does it with so much passion and so much drive. The work ethic is next to none. But man, I really love, they remind me of old football, the way they play it, tough nose football, softer than it's ever been for me. That's probably the part that I cannot stand to watch the most right now. It's like, can be physical in defense. They've neutralized the defense with the rules of the game. And now we're seeing performances like Jamar Chase.
That was next up on our list, because we got to talk about it. We got to.
All due respect, that brother. If you could be more physical with a guy like that, you could stop some.
You change exactly. the game. You change the game, and you change the way that they attack the game, because now they're looking over their shoulder. They're second guessing moves that they can do naturally, and I feel like that's one of the biggest arguments right now in the NFL is that it's soft, and it obviously a lot of times comes from the defensive end because they are pursuing the ball.
Right.
So
100%, and the rules are all geared to really suppress that physicality. Physicality is a part of the game. I grew up playing a game when you can knock crossers off literally into the dirt, onto their head first, whether they had the ball or not. It's like you don't run routes across. It wasn't safe over the middle. That's exactly how the game was intended to be put. It was not safe to run over the middle. And I'll knock you and your mama out over the. That's the energy that you have to have, because it's nearly impossible for a defender to try and cover these guys. They're running 4 140s now, 4 140s, Mr. Tyreek Hill, and you can't touch them after 5 yards.
Yeah,
that's like playing catch with a rabbit. It's nearly impossible, and I feel a lot for these defenders between that and the automatic first down calls, these holding calls and pass interference calls that have affected the game. Just a game the other night, Chiefs, Cincinnati. There's no possible way to get a first down, but then there's a 5 yard holding call, automatic first down inside the one. As a defense, it's like, okay, how, there was not even a way to get a first down yet. You've been awarded a first down for a penalty that's five, and it's very difficult to do. I think, the way that I was taught the game from one of my idols and one of the guys I truly love, Kevin Green, and even all the way down to my Pop Warner coaches, was physicality. And just for our viewers, in case you never played the game, you're probably like, come on, guy, you're just on your soapbox, you know, talking about you just want to hit people. Yeah, that's the game of football, 100%. And just think about you eating lunch one day and somebody comes over and punches you in the face. You'll never eat lunch the same way. Probably not for the rest of that year. You'll be looking over your shoulder. You'll be that's the effect that physicality can have on football. When these guys are catching the ball freely and doing these little cute moves freely, they know they're safe.
Yeah.
They're safe.
Yeah.
So there's that. I'm the old guy.
The old guy here. So, okay, so we talked a little bit about Ja'Marr Chase, but I do want to talk about the duo, Ja'Marr
Yeah.
Chase and Joe Burrow. A lot of people, are actually putting him as a contender for MVP. I wouldn't
Yeah.
go that far, but his numbers actually are really good. Like his
Yeah.
completion rate right now is extremely well. I believe leading. I don't want to put anything false out there.
Yeah. It got to be over 105 because going into we covered him obviously on the show this week,
Mm-hmm.
KCTV 5, 10 a.m. on Sundays. Um, we we talked about it. His passer rating was 105 going into the game. He had
Okay.
41 over 4,100 yards. So I know for a fact that he had
He's my
another.
fantasy team this week.
That he, then I know you did all right then, sis.
I did.
I
I
like.
won.
I mean, he has to be right around 4,500 yards. Um, he's been getting the comparison to young Tom Brady. What do you think? I mean, he has the look, he has the cool, calm. What do you think as a pro in the game? I know you get to cover sports all the way across their Valley Sports. What do you think about this young kid, this young talent?
I think he's special. I've thought he
Yeah.
was special since his senior year at LSU.
Was it the
I
dance moves?
You know what? You know what? I'm not going to count that out because I do think it's about the swag. I think it's about how you
Sure.
carry yourself and just your confidence because,
Mhm.
a lot of times you see, and I don't really want to compare him to like a Mac Jones, but for example, just because he was the first name that came to mind, like he, great quarterback in
Yeah.
college, still very young in the league right now, finding his way, but he's had great moments that stand out, top 10, ESPN top 10 moments,
Sure.
but it's just the way you walk out onto the field and lead a team and look
Hmm.
cool about it. Like you said, just with Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, like they have fun. They're cool about it. They're confident in their game. So that's why I like him. I do like Joe Burrow. I like his swag. I like his confidence, and he has a good group around him. I think that they could have a really bright future.
Yeah. I mean, he's okay. They have a 1,000 yard rusher in Joe Mixon. They have another young talent. Um, T. What's his last name? T. It's slipping my mind right now. Number 85, T. Higgins. Excuse me.
Hmm.
Obviously Jamar Chase. I mean, the show that he put on the other night was next to none. This kid, first off, he plays receiver by day, but after football, I mean, after he catches the football, this guy is a running back. He's built for it tough. I mean, this guy is as cool as it gets. He's an LSU guy, which means, he got mentors like Justin Jefferson and Odell Beckham, very
Yeah.
close knit football community at LSU, and they've got some of
Another
the
alum,
best.
yeah. I think I
Oh,
mean, Odell and Jefferson, they wore shirts with
yeah,
faces on it and warming up.
yeah, yeah. They got love. They got big
Yeah.
love for each other. And that matters, especially for the young guys, because trying to navigate the NFL as a business, it's difficult. Even just learning these guys. When you can get a tip, you can call up Odell Beckham and get an answer. The week of and say, "Hey, man, what do you think about this defensive back?" And he's like,
Hmm.
"Hey, he's trash. Kill him."
Hmm.
when you get that type of confidence from a
Yeah,
cat that
Chad Ochocinco talked about that too.
yeah,
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 because
it
he could
matters.
call up Deion Sanders.
Like, what's up?
Yeah.
What's up? And for a young guy that instills so much confidence in you, like because there's one thing to believe it, and it's one thing to know it, and it's one thing to believe, know it, and hear it. So
Yeah.
they have that. I mean, it's shown for all three of them. Even Odell, I think he gets something from mentoring these young men, these young stars that are breaking his records and competing with his records. LSU is in a healthy space as far as for wide receivers.
Yeah.
Um, but I like this Jamar Chase, man. I really do. I kind of talked about it on the show, and I wish I wasn't as right as I was, but nobody was nervous. I'm like, are y'all not seeing what I'm seeing?
Yeah.
These guys are men amongst men. Stop playing.
For
He went
sure.
crazy. So
No, for
kudos to him. Shout out to him.
he turned up one time, especially when they
Sheesh.
needed it. You think about it, playoff time, it can't take no breaks.
Mm-mm.
So all right, just because time is winding down, let's just talk
Yeah.
about key matchups for the playoff spot. We got the Colts and Chargers coming up, Raiders and Ravens, and then the Steelers playing tonight. Who do you have out? Who do you have out that is still in the hunt? Oh, I'm sorry. We also have Saints and 49ers. Didn't say that.
Yeah. Did you say Steelers were on that list?
Yes, they are on the list. They're on the bubble. Bubble, sorry.
Yeah, I think their bubble is going to burst tonight. They haven't, with all due respect, I think Ben's time is it's going to respectfully come to an end, and I think he's had a heck of a career, but I just don't think he has enough juice for one more playoff push. It didn't appear so throughout the season.
Mhm.
Um, those other teams, they still have a fighting chance. I think they still have a lot to prove. Hunger is an important thing, especially in the NFL across the board. It's hard when your leaders, for lack of better words, he's fat and happy. You know, Ben is he's gonna go home. He's taking his victory lap. He's like, look, guys, look, we're just here
Yeah.
to have fun. Whereas there's guys out there that are just they want it. They're trying to make a name for themselves.
Mhm.
They're trying to really make a stain in the league, and yeah, still is
Yeah.
out. They're bubbles.
So for me, between the Colts, Chargers, and 49ers, I have
Yeah, who you
49ers.
got?
I have 49ers
49ers out?
out. They
Okay.
have been too inconsistent this season.
Hmm.
It just comes down to that, honestly. We talk
Yeah,
about. So for me, I think not having a quarterback that
yeah.
every week in and out is gonna do their job. It's really
It's
hard. Then you
tough.
have coming in, you have the young guy coming in, and I like Trey Lance, but like then
Yeah,
you have Garoppolo, he's injured now, and so it's just like it's a lot. It's a lot going on
it's back and forth.
in San
Yeah,
Francisco. So I'm gonna have to count them out, and I do like the Colts this season. Chargers, yeah, I mean
Colts got an underrated defense. I think they're sleepers. I think they could be
Chargers,
between the Colts. I think
Colts.
yeah, Indianapolis between their run game and their defense that's being
Yeah,
slept on. I mean, they're a team that could simply rock a few teams to sleep in the playoffs. That combination there eats up clock. And there's some teams out there. If you have turnover issues versus the Indianapolis Colts,
hmm
you could end up down by 21 and throwing the ball into a very, very tough defense. But I
yeah,
think you hit it on the head with San Francisco. Quarterback play is so crucial in this league, which is why all these rules are built to protect those guys and the quality of the game overall, which we understand. Um, it's difficult, even with the young special talent they got there and the running back receiver, that Debo Samuels. My goodness,
mm.
if they get him a quarterback, good night. I mean, there's never been a guy that played full time running back, full time wide receiver, and led the team in both. I
Yeah,
mean, the durability that it takes to even fathom doing something like that in the National Football League, I think speaks volumes for somebody like him. And it's good to see these young guys out there, man. Just whoo.
yeah.
That's when I know I can't play them. But some days I'm like, I can still do it. I got it. Then I see a young Debo, a young Jamar Chase take off on everybody. I'm like, ooh,
I don't want to be that I don't want to be number 57.
Let me keep talking about football. It's safer out here.
Exactly. All right. So we could talk about NFL all night,
All day.
honestly. I wanted to kind of get into the NBA, but right now with COVID taking everybody out,
Let's do it
everybody's good.
real quick. Let's
Okay.
do it. Who's your top four power teams right now?
Right now, of course, the Warriors because they
Okay.
are. They. I cannot. Oh, also, side note. Clay is supposed to be coming back this month. It could be
Okay.
this week, next week, who knows? But definitely January. So Warriors, Suns, Jazz, fourth spot.
Hmm.
Dang, I had a list up here too because we do our rankings for Bally Sports. Who do I have?
Okay. I'm off the top of my. I don't even.
Go
You
ahead.
your list will probably be cleaner than mine. No, no. Give me some more time.
Oh, oh, oh,
Your
oh.
list gonna be cleaner than mine. Yeah, you
So
got one
four,
more.
four. I want to go Bulls. I'm gonna go Bulls because DeMar DeRozan has been lighting it up. Two buzzer beater, game-winning buzzer beaters back to back. Like I don't know if that's a record, but I feel like that's some type of NBA history right there.
I like it. I like it.
And Bulls is a young team right now, and I really like their energy. So yeah.
Yeah. Are we forgetting anybody? I mean, you got some great teams right there. I'm throwing the Bulls. I'm gonna go ahead and throw the Bulls on.
Okay.
Um, Obviously Stephen Curry and those Golden State Warriors. I mean, where are these Golden State find all these light skinned tough guys? I mean, they got about three, four of these cats like killers, co-killers, and I like it. I love it. I love it. I think, obviously LA is a team that's just struggling right now, but um, Utah, I think that's another great pick. I mean, you
Utah,
got some
yeah.
great pick. Utah Jazz. But don't forget about the NBA champs. All right, don't forget about Mitchell. I
No,
see him
not.
every night bullying guys and dunking on them. Like he's just my type of guy, just in general. Like I ain't even talking basketball.
Yeah.
Like he just looked like in a street fight, he finna
Yeah.
get right into it. No hesitation. He's just my type of guy. And the way he plays the game of basketball. Shout out to Mr. June, Coach June, the guy that trained both Lauren and myself.
Yeah.
I mean, Coach June would love a cat like this. He used to tell
Oh,
me
for sure.
he used to take a van. This is a true story, y'all. I ain't gonna lie, and I'm gonna keep it short, Laura. He used to take us up to the city in a van from borough to borough in New York. So we drive from New Jersey to New York. 5, 16, 15, 16-year-old kids in a van. Pull up next. Call next.
Put your shoes on.
Put your shoe next. You don't win, you don't eat. No lie.
Yeah.
You don't win, you don't eat.
I will say he was a little
And
bit more. He was a little bit more kinder to the females. Me and his daughters we used to train together.
rightfully so.
Rightfully so, but we got that working, and
Yeah.
we definitely got some stories. No water breaks, no fan in the gym, none of that. 2-3 hours
Mm-mm.
straight, and you just like looking at him like,
Yeah.
are we we gonna go home tonight?
Yeah.
um,
Unreal.
but yeah, it's a mentality
Shout out to
though,
him. Yeah,
for
shout out
sure.
to him and all the coaches around the country who
Hmm.
dedicate not only their time, energy, and resource to young athletes to help them because you are
For
needed and
no,
you are
for nothing,
valuable
for
for
nothing
nothing.
too.
Never,
Yeah,
never ask for nothing. I mean, pure love of the game and for the athletes. So y'all keep doing what y'all doing. Had to give y'all a quick shout out because I know Coach June is not the only one. Shout out Coach Ted,
yeah.
all of these guys who've made a difference for us throughout our career. And I know there's a countless amount more out there.
Shoot, I've had janitors. Rest in
Yeah,
peace because he's no longer here anymore. But high school janitor open up the gym. Not supposed to.
open it up.
Not
Open
supposed.
it
Don't
up.
nobody know, but he got the keys and he know I want to
His might be
shoot.
the same brother. Might be the same brother that used to open it up for me in the morning. They
Could
told me I
be.
couldn't lift twice a day. I said, shoot, y'all
And
can't
he
lift
did it
twice
for
a day
and he did it for nothing. He did it
for
for
nothing.
just because he knew I wanted to get some work in.
That worked.
Summer, he leave his house, come to the gym, just to open a gym, high school gym up. Ain't nobody supposed to be on campus.
He did. We did. We out. We
Exactly.
outside
We
working.
outside. Exactly. All right. So last thing, like I said in the beginning, it is the new year's 2022.
Mhm.
Some people do resolutions. Some people, like you said, writing down your goals, holding yourself accountable. At the end of the day, I think that's really what, when the new year starts, we always want to have something to hold ourselves accountable for. And to just kind of be proud of where we came
Mhm.
through the 2021 year and 2020. I feel like
100%.
it's all kind of an extension of 2020 maybe. But
2020, 2020s.
Oh
It's the
Lord.
2020s.
But nevertheless to say, we do want to put ourselves on a platform, give ourselves our flowers, and also just have something to look forward to. So Des,
Yeah.
2022, what are you putting out to the universe? What are you accomplishing? What are your goals? What are you proud of? Um,
Yeah.
Give a little spiel. 3 minutes. 3 minutes.
Yeah. 3 minutes. I'm gonna keep it sweet. This my number one right here. This my
Oh,
little one.
cute.
This my daughter Naomi. I mean, she changed my life just in a nutshell. Turned me from a young, wild savage. Y'all lucky. No, I'm just kidding. To a dad, to a father, a businessman. And obviously, I do my deal on Sundays. One of my goals is obviously to let it grow and let it go. I pray on it, and CBS, I'm coming for you. All right,
Yeah, for
that's all I'm
sure.
gonna say about that. But on a business tip, I'm a real estate investor as well. That's how I feed my family and take care of it, and it's been a blessing. Um, I pray it continues to grow, and watching my little sister here, one of my idols, in her element. She's at Valley Sports. Um, I mean, as a big bro, you can't be more proud of a young talent, and to see her transition from sports into media, into television, so effortlessly. Even my big sis, someone I always looked up to in my entire life. It's a blessing, man. I'm a
Yeah.
blessed guy, and I wake up grateful every day. And that's one word that I'm taking with me two times. Actually, I'll say two words: gratefulness, and the other one is relentless. And you gotta work. You
Yeah.
gotta work. Whatever it is, like we talked about to start this show, write it down, make a plan, make your goals, have sub goals and attack it. You can't just pray on it. You gotta attack that thing relentlessly. And I promise you, God will make a way.
Yeah. Yeah. Those are all
What
great.
about you, Lo? Yeah,
For
what about you?
me,
You got for the New Year's coming?
it's all
Talk
great.
to the
Okay,
people.
so for me, we're gonna keep it quick. But
Okay.
I never do vision boards unless it's like of the group or kind of like
Okay.
you kind of forced to or it's somebody else's idea. So one night I decided to give me a little glass of wine, do my vision board. My word of the year is alignment.
Huh.
Just making sure that everything that I say, everything I put out into the universe, it all aligns with who I am. It aligns with my goals, and then also it just like that I remain accountable, and that everything just aligns because I
Yeah.
do think that everything is kind of connected. Whatever you put out there is going to happen, whether it's positive or negative. So, here is
Yeah.
my vision board. It's a
Okay.
lot
What we
going
got?
on. It's a lot going on. We got some ask, believe, receive, zero debt. We got a student loans. We got some travel. London is a place I want to go. It might not happen this
Yeah.
year, but definitely planning for 2022, 2023. We got some vacation. Be genuine. Be a warrior, not worrier. We got some fitness, friends. Oh, wrong way.
Yeah.
What else is over here? Relationship, more traveling, do what you love is what my job is currently covering sports full time. I swear, I prayed that very prayer almost every single day when I was working in
Huh.
news. I just want to.
Tell
I
them the
just want
prayer
to.
right now.
I just
Lauren's
want to.
prayer.
I know
Tell them
Sierra's
right
prayer,
now. We going
Lauren's
viral,
prayer.
baby.
No, you just put it out there. You say what you want.
Yeah.
You claim it as if you already have it.
Mhm.
That's what I really started changing my affirmations to was acting as if it was already mine. If something that I
Right.
want, it's already mine. I already know it's coming my way. And then lastly is preparing yourself for those things that you ask for. Because a lot
Yes.
of times we can ask for
Preach.
things. I'm sorry, I'm about to get my preacher bag.
No, you better
But
preach. Take your time now. Take your time.
a lot of
Preach, no.
times we can ask for things, but we aren't ready to receive it.
Hmm. Hmm.
And that's one, that's just a waste of energy. But two, you have to continuously work on yourself. You can't ask for things and they just come to you. Like you have to
No.
work for it. Like Des said, writing it down. You have to attack it. And then lastly, those goals that you talk about, just be realistic.
Yeah.
We all
Be
have these
real.
grandiose 10-year, 20. What can I do every single day to get me to that 10-year plan or 10-year
But
goal?
have grace. And I'm gonna interject. Have grace. Because we're human,
And
and
kind to
and I've been
yourself.
be kind to yourself because we as humans sometimes we have these lofty goals, and it takes a period of time. But then we have a bad week, and we turn a bad week into a bad month and a bad year. No, understand that one bad week doesn't make you a bad person or make
Yeah.
you're human. You're human. So give yourself that grace and get back on track with that same relentlessness. You know, it's a theme here. Is you
Mm-hmm.
got It's a theme, but it starts with
And
really,
it'll come up more throughout the
yeah, yeah,
podcast.
yeah.
We're definitely not slowing down. It's a new year. We want
We in here,
we in here. Y'all better get ready. Y'all better get used
all
to it
right,
too.
and
But
love
that
it
is exactly. But that is
because we
all.
love y'all.
Yes, we love y'all. I love you, brother.
I
I
love
am
you.
Lauren Moses. This is Desmond Moses. Moses Square Podcast is signing out. Gotta press finish.